Welcome to Isis and the Bible Summer Gathering Week number 4. Are you feeling blue? The question for today is, when is the last time you said, forgive me? With the full moon in Aquarius, it's a reminder that the water bearer, aka John the Baptist, is saying, hey, can you forgive me? Why not start with forgiving each other for the past 2,000 years, the Piscean age, and only give out good karma now? But who do we ask forgiveness to? Glad you could join us today. So let's talk about this blue moon. What is a blue moon? Well, there's no such thing as a blue moon as far as it turning blue. You can research that. The blue moon means it twice in 1 month, but man made the calendar. So there's one moon every month. That's why it's called a month. It's a month. You get a new moon and a full moon every month, which is a month. But this one kind of is representing blue because blue means cold. And synchronistically, I had a sister say, hey, I think Aquarius is cold. And rightfully so it is. The moon, what's actually in the sky, so let me come over here. So actually in the sky for today, on the exact full moon, is in Aquarius. So if you have an app and you want to go look, it's actually in Aquarius. Most astrologers today will tell you it's in Pisces because they're not using the sky and where the constellations are. So you're missing out on the powers of the constellation if you're not using it properly. So the full moon is in Aquarius, bar none. So you can see that the moon being in Aquarius, which is forgiveness, right? The etheric waters. This is John the Baptist. And of course, it's right across from Leo, the heart. So the etheric waters comes from the heart because the heart is where you come in and out. That's where all the beating is. That's where the frequency is. That's the hole in the middle of the magnet. It's the center. It's the all. You got the fire of Leo and the coolness of Aquarius. So it's all about love and forgiveness, this moon. So for this month, as it's waning, it's something we can all think about, and that's why the topic is forgiveness today. And remember, this weekend is important because this is part of Mary stepping on the snake, and Sarah is the harvester. The harvester is the one who wants you to be a good harvest, which also represented by, and right here behind me, which I'll throw it up on the screen, but for those you watching, that's Amit, the one who eats your heart if it's not as light as a feather. That is Ceres, that sits on the harvest line. So on August 31st, which is tomorrow, Ceres aligns with Star Spica, which is the grain of wheat harvest. And then on September the 4th, Ceres aligns the north and south node, which, as we know, is the snake, right? The nodes of the moon look like horseshoes, and that's what's on the back of a cobra, rightfully so. So this full moon, blue moon, is about love and forgiveness. So we had a great discussion on that. Okay, changing gears for a bit. Have you heard of this sister, Dolores Cahill? She was a professor of translational science at the University College in Dublin, Ireland, School of Medicine. She has been exposing the untruths about virology. Remember, folks, there is no such thing as a virus. So synchronistically, my wife, beautiful wife, asked me, what is it about Ireland, as she sensed I needed to look up in the stars and map out where Ireland is at. As you can see, so this is the plot of the stars from Ptolemy's Almagest on top of the Gleason map, because the stars map the lands. So these are the 6 stars of the Big Dipper. Ursa Major, where it has Alkaid. You guys remember Alkaid, right? Alkaid is a very important star next to leading towards the pole star. And if you see, Alkaid is actually on 0 degree Virgo. So here's Ireland. Ireland is right here at the tip of the Big Dipper. So it's important. All of Europe is painted by the Big Dipper. So when people are getting these feelings, these root feelings, it's where it comes from. It's from these constellations. We're all part of the whole cosmos, the micro and the macro. So this lady is sharing truth. So we got to forgive all the people who are supporting the ego and the monetary systems. The question is, who do we forgive? We have to forgive everyone. And we'll get into that later, but I ask for forgiveness for creating the banking systems that are dishonest, because I might have been the one that shared that and helped get that going many, many lives ago. So I ask forgiveness for helping the pharmaceutical companies create the placebo effect and doing things to people that aren't right. So I ask everybody for forgiveness because I might have been the one that instigated that 2, 3, 4 lives ago. I don't know. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask all of them for forgiveness, every one of you and everybody out there, because I don't know where I was back then, but it could have been me. We're all one. We're going to move on to proving astrology and its influence as guidance to reach the calm shores of one love. So there's just a short video that I'm going to be using on a video that we're doing for the Spirit Realm Network. There's a section for it. Is astrology woo-woo? Our continued venture down this path to show you that astrology is not woo-woo. We've got a few slides to go over. Meet Roger Peterson, someone you don't hear about much, a commercial pilot from Mason City, Iowa. He unfortunately was the pilot of the plane that crashed with Richie Valens, JP, the Big Bopper Richardson, and Buddy Holly. This event has been called the day that music died. The plane took off at approximately 12:55 a.m. on February 3rd, 1959 from Mason City Municipal Airport and crashed minutes later. Richie Valens was born on May 13th, 1941 in Pacoima, California. Richie Valens was a rising star in hits like La Bamba and Donna. He was known for his youthful charm and passion for music. J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, born on October 24th, 1930 in Sabine Pass, Texas. The Big Bopper was a DJ and musician famous for his hits Chantilly Lace. He was a father and had an affectionate personality. Buddy Holly, born on September 7th, 936 in Lubbock, Texas. Buddy Holly was a pioneering rock and roll musician known for his hits like Peggy Sue and That'll Be the Day. He had a warm relationship with his wife Maria Elena Santiago. What happened on that day? Let's have a look. It's very interesting to note that Icarus was lying for the sun that day. You know the story of Icarus. The boy who got his wings, flew too close to the sun, burned his wing and come crashing down. Interesting. So they were flying. Maybe they were all flying a bit too high. As you can see, he also had Icarus retrograde in his natal, being transited at that exact time by the Imam Coeli and Chiron, the wounded healer. The Imam Coeli is where spirit resides. And as you know, Lilith, which can turn you to stone, is very much prominent in his chart and at play, including the black moon aligned with the moon and Mars, very strong in his chart. And as you can see, black moon was descending on that day with his strong black moon in his chart. This is all there. With his natal, Mercury, being transited by the descendant. That's his Akashic record. The day that music died, for sure. Look at Juno, aligned Palace. This is mothers and community. Many hearts were touched as these two were on the harvest line. More on the other 3 charts in a future video, but no, it's all there, folks. It is very obvious when we look at one's chart to see who has stronger connections with the divine based on past lives. It's not a race or a competition, it's wisdom that is being revealed to you from the past once again. Who I'm about to show you is individuals who are considered a tapestry of spiritual and moral influence. Martin Luther King Jr., a Baptist minister and civil rights leader who advocated for peaceful protest. He is admired for his role in advancing civil rights and social justice, often through a Christian ethical framework. Billy Graham, an American evangelist who was one of the most influential preachers of the 20th century. He was known for his large-scale crusades and for his advising several U.S. presidents. C.S. Lewis, a British writer and lay theologian who was best known for his work of fiction like The Chronicles of Narnia, but also for the Christian apologetic works like Mere Christianity. And we also have a Pope, Pope John Paul II, the Pope from 1978 until his death in 2005. He was one of the most traveled world leaders in history, and he was instrumental in improving the Catholic Church's relations with Judaism, Islam, and other Christian denominations. Remember, the Vatican lets you pay for indulgences to forgive your sins. That act in itself brings not good karma. These gentlemen, although played a part in people's lives, they did not have alignments with the divine. There is nothing notable in their charts like that of Helena Blavatsky, for example. You gotta teach people about the spirit, wisdom, not about the meat suit that you see in front of the mirror. Let's talk about Mother Teresa, a Catholic nun who founded the Missionaries of Charity in Calcutta, India. She was canonized as a saint by the Roman Catholic Church and is admired for her work with the poor and sick. Look at her chart. She has her sun aligned Juno, Mary Magdalene. Incredible, isn't it? It's all there, folks. Part of her karmic path was to help others. Look at how she has Ceres, the harvester, in retrograde on the harvest line of Libra, Aries. Although there's a lot of skepticism surrounding her access to funds, she has indeed helped many people. She's fed many, using the funds of those seeking to resolve karma. Something that will be happening en masse very soon in this world. Let's bring in the Phoenix Rising dude, Leonardo da Vinci, who was 13 years old on the last Phoenix Rising in 1465. Look, you can't make this stuff up. He has Eris, Virgin Mary, aligned Saturn on the harvest line. You remember that the harvest line is your library of your actions, right? Your Libra, Aries of your actions. So Leonardo was very much connected with reading the Akashic record. That's why he got to see, he gained his wisdom. To further his strength, he had a strong square with Pluto, aka God the Father. So he has both God the Father and the Mother of God. Notice I said has and not had because you retain your wisdom so long as you shroud it with love. So many people are talking about activating their pineal gland. There is only one way to do this. It is to use love. Make all your waters pure, and this can only be done with forgiveness. Then watch your world change. Besides, you have no choice. The mother is back. So you can see that in all these people's charts, who has, again, it's not a race, it's not a competition, it's not I'm better than anybody. It's about sharing wisdom and sharing love and inducing each other. So when we come back, we have beautiful alignments that are absolutely amazing. Yeah, Sammy?
I know this probably is not very important, but I just wanted to say it's Lubbock, Texas, just so you know.
It's what? Sorry?
It's pronounced Lubbock.
Oh, thanks. Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. So here's the thing. We have a tree of life, right? And I'm not going to talk about an Adam and Eve story, but if you can kind of put that analogy in your head. So if we are all these leaves on the outside, right? Then every one of these branches is our past. So if you're somewhere down in here, that means you're responsible for all the karmic actions all the way through up until here. So that's why I choose to go, the further I go back down to the root, to the seed or whatever, holding up the whole world and forgiving yourself for what you see in the whole world, because it's all ours, because we are one. So if we connect with that, saying, that's me, every one of us say, that's me, I'm responsible for that, forgive me, and I'm going to make the world a better place the way it should be. So that's how it works. So we are all connected to the one in the middle. So we are all responsible for everything we see around us, every single one of us. That's why I say, let's just practice forgiving each other and tell everybody how beautiful our lives are going to be. You can use the 42 spiritual laws and stick any one of those in there. All right.
I bring a message from Marcus Licinius Crassus, commander of Italy. By command of his most merciful excellency, your lives are to be spared. Slaves you were, and slaves you remain. But the terrible penalty of crucifixion has been set aside on the single condition that you identify the body or the living person of the slave called Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
And that's all we have for today.